share.
if you hear my children in the background, please don't mind them, okay? Because my
Same.
earphones are not working, and there's three of them. I drug them with TV, with movies.
Yeah.
It's supposed to
Same
watch
here, I
Friday.
tell you. Hi Helen. Yeah, so it just happened. There is a magic show that is happening
Oh,
tonight. So same to my kid lah. He's with my husband, and then we have this precious 15 minutes. So thank you to all the moms who bother
yeah.
to join this live room. It's our first time. Yeah, so let's just do a very casual, quick intro to each other lah. Rebecca, you want to start introducing yourself?
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Rebecca, and my background is that I used to be a social worker, and then after that, after about 4 to 5 years, I quit. I became a process art instructor in an art studio. Yeah, it's quite a famous art studio, but I shall not mention the name. So I worked there for a while, and then I had my first child. And after my first child, I actually stayed home for a while. And actually, that a while was quite long. It's about 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I stayed home for 10 years. Yeah. So and then now I started my own business to conduct process art workshops for children, young people, adults, and families. Yeah. And at least your hair has grown out since the last time I saw you.
Yeah, I haven't had time to cut it really. You noticed. Thank you. Well, yeah, so the last time I met you, Rebecca, I think it was in May, right? When we were having our first exhibition at National Library, Singapore. And yeah, thank you so much for coming down. It was also our very first offline event this year because of the COVID situation. But yeah, lucky you made it happen. We also had a Mother's Day talk. Then that's where I met you. I think that time my hair is like this bit, right? So it grows a little bit, but still is a bit messy. I should probably do something about it. So yeah, I'd like to introduce myself as well. So my name is Alice. I'm a mother of one. So I really like kudos to Rebecca. Like you have so many. I can't imagine how you manage three. Maybe you can share with us a bit more like how you manage later. I really want to know. I mean myself and the mothers here. If you want to know, also you can like poke Rebecca, asking her. So my kid is 4 years old. I was like a cartoonist. I used to draw for some of the Singapore local newspapers like Zhao Bao. I drew a cartoon column for Kiasu parents for a while as well. It's usually bilingual because originally I was from China. So, you know, most of the cartoon work is to teach children how they learn Chinese through, you know, funny cartoons and all that. So I can share a bit more. Hi guys. Wow, so more people joining. Hi. Yeah, so just sharing my story. So I became a mother 4 years ago, and that's also when I started Mama on Palette. I will share more about our founding story later. But yeah, so just for the mothers who joined us just now, you know, to share some background about Rebecca, she is, you know, process art facilitator. She is a mother of 3. So yeah, you want to share more about your like motherhood journey with us and, you know, like how you manage 3 really.
Okay. How I manage 3 is not easy until now because I have still a preschooler. I think the preschooler years are really tiring, especially in this pandemic, right? In this COVID-19, I feel even more stressed out taking care of my preschooler because when I was taking care of my firstborn and my second one, it's like there's so much freedom to move everywhere, to do anything, you know, and they really need a lot of space and outdoor, and they need a variety of activities. Yeah, so we are coping. We're still trying to cope. Yeah, but most importantly is that art really keeps us alive. Me and my 3 children. Yeah. So I mean, so far it's like I made a promise ever since my first and second one, my firstborn. I made a promise to myself. I said that I must do art with them once a week. This is the promise.
Wow,
so every
that's
week,
a very good commitment.
Yeah, so it really helps to calm everybody down. You know, actually to me, motherhood is a lot of like give and take with my children, finding the right chemistry, the right balance. You know, there's so much tension most of the time, you know, when they are still growing up. I'm changing, they are changing, we're all changing, there's so much tension. So I think when we do art once a week, it brings us all back, you know, calm and, you know, at peace. Yeah. Of course, not every art session is successful. It's a trial and error. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I can, like, if I recall back to like when I firstly became a mom, right? And I don't know about your situation, but for me, because I came to Singapore alone, so here it's just me and my husband, and we decided not to get the grandparents over. So it's just the two of us learning to take care of a young baby ourselves. And we attended all the classes, but you know, still there are so many things we don't know at the beginning. But I realized one thing that really allows me to bond with my kid is to do some art together. I mean, when he started like crawling and he can use his fingers, we like there are some sessions we did is to really like squeeze the juice to make them into different color. He can still use his hand to like use the fruit juice, right, to create different colors on a white blanket. So that's somewhere that allows me to bond with him, like what you said, also to calm down your mind and like ensure you know it's safe. It just creates a very comfortable environment for the whole family. And yeah, I think I practice more definitely after COVID because it just I think it's a way to escape from all the stress the external world is bringing to us. What do you think? Like, do you feel
not easy
the
for
same?
you, especially when you first came to Singapore and you're alone, you know, it's really not easy. It's, when you have a firstborn kid, you just feel like so isolated because every day you just face your child, right? You don't face, it's not like going to work. You have friends, you have colleagues, but every day you just face the child. It's like you suddenly forgot how to talk like an adult.
Yeah,
It's so stressful,
totally.
right?
Yes.
So it must have been so difficult for you to adjust to Singapore and then still take care of your firstborn and then to be by yourself. So, you know, I'm so glad that you had art to ease that tension and to help you adjust to this whole situation. Yeah.
Let's think of like a one story, right? Like how art really give you an aha moment or make you feel, wow, now I'm thinking differently. And I mean, I can start first. Actually, before I got pregnant, I haven't been really doing drawing because my day job is actually a digital marketer. It's very, very busy most of the times. So then there was like a 3-year period that I really dropped drawing. I mean, I still go to museums, but I really haven't had the time to practice. So only after I got pregnant, then like the first and second trimester is okay, but until the third trimester, like you started to feel this tension. It just like, I don't know how to describe the feeling, but I think the moms would know, like if you wake up in the morning, right, you will see your face got swollen, then your foot size get bigger. Yeah, and yeah, it just like doesn't look like you lah. Then you will feel naturally not so happy about yourself. Although like on one side of you, you will feel like you're very happy, right? Because you are carrying a new life. So you're both excited, but you're also anxious, you're also stressed because all the changes that happen to our body. Don't know why I just started crying, but my husband said like, he's very understanding. I really appreciate that. He said, you know, why not you try like pick up your brush, right? You have all this in your storage room. I want to try drawing something. So I said, okay. And it just happened that, you know, there was another night I had this dream about a vegetables kingdom. Then I said, okay lah, then I just draw the dream out, right? So then I started drawing, put them onto like carton, like the form that I'm used to. And that really helped, right? So when I'm focusing, I think this is a new project and eventually I want to produce this as a book for like as a gift for my baby. I think I can really get focused because I feel I have a new mission to focus on creating something. So that really helped. And that's my moment of really seeing some lights and seeing a difference by practicing art. So maybe you want to share also like your own experience.
And this I think was interesting. You said you worked as a digital marketer, yeah. But then there was a lot of creating involved in your work, right? But yet that is not considered your own kind of personal time in art, right? So to me, that's like, yeah, a lot of people confuse like, if we are in our job as a creative, then it's enough already. We don't have to create on our own. We just go along as our job. But actually, it's two separate. So my aha moment was that actually, after my firstborn, there's really no time to do any drawing. Yeah, it's just I feel so overwhelmed with the responsibilities of a mother. Yeah, so I really literally just stopped all kind of drawing, all kind of art, or even craft. I did some crafting, but that's different. Yeah. And then after that, after my second child, I actually had 2 miscarriages back to back. Yeah, it was really hard because the doctor, my gynae, actually said that we don't know the reason why. So that is even worse, right? Because like, you don't know the reason why. And then I felt so much guilt and condemnation because I think it's all my fault. Is that I say, is it because I went to exercise? And then I didn't take care of my body. And then my friends were, these like close friends, they didn't even, the immediate response was like,
what happened,
is it because
right?
you didn't rest? You didn't rest, right?
Yeah.
I felt this guilt on me that, it's my fault that I had 2 miscarriages back to back, And the worst, I think, was the second miscarriage. The gynae, I had a relief gynae because my regular gynae went on holiday. So I actually miscarried again. And then she said to me, wow, that was like the breaking point. She said to me, it's okay lah, you already have 2 children, what? I was really devastated, really devastated. And I forgot about my 2 children. And so my husband actually said to me, hey, why don't you start painting again? He said, he start painting. Then I said, but maybe I should go back to work. I told him, maybe I should go back to work, then I can forget about all these troubles. Then he said that. Then I said that, painting, I can't earn money. If every morning I paint, I can't earn any money, right? It's like there's no economic benefit, And then he said to me, it's okay. He said, you just every morning wake up when the children go to childcare, you just paint, and then it helps you to gain strength for the rest of the day. So my husband was very encouraging, just like your husband.
That's great. Yeah.
So every morning I just paint, and that's how I manage my grief. And it's not like one morning and then it's not. It took me about 1 year of painting. Yeah, so I had like a few art journals that accumulated from that 1 year. Yeah, and so that's my aha moment. That was when after that 1 year of recovery, I decided that I will set up something to help people to use art. Okay, we don't have to be professional, but use art to just cope with our everyday lives.
Yeah, totally. And I know that recently you are doing this art creative for mental wellness campaign, right? Would you like to share a bit more? I know that you have successfully raised $1,000 for your first campaign, so congratulations. Maybe you want to share with us more how we can support.
Okay, actually, maybe I should have your bigger faith. I should have targeted hard more, right? Because the campaign ends on 10 September. So basically, this campaign is actually organized by this social service agency called Care Corner. It's their fundraising campaign for different sectors. So one of the sectors I chose was mental health because that is very close to my heart. To use art and creativity for mental wellness. I made a promise that for those who donate, there's number 1, there's a free toddler playbook that I wrote on some activities.
I didn't know you wrote a book also. I should get a copy.
So basically, I know that a lot of parents are struggling during this period, especially with toddlers. Because you can't go out, you stay at home, they are so active, you don't know what to do. It's so hard. And then the second one is that I'll be sharing 10 process art activities that you can do just to get you make sense of what's happening now, make some meaning, feel a sense of control over all this chaos that's happening during COVID-19.
Yeah.
So one of the examples was mindful weaving. Yeah. Okay. So I did this
Oh,
weaving.
so cute.
Yeah.
This
So
is
a lot
made
of
by
us string and yarn and
okay.
paper. Yeah. So a lot of us think that like, oh, you know, we can't do art. It's too much time. It's too long. It's too troublesome. It's too difficult. But actually, I made this in half an hour. You don't have to have, you know, you don't have to have those big, wow, so beautiful.
You don't need to have a big project, right?
No, yeah, it just have to be like 10 to 15 minutes. Yeah, simple drawings, simple things. Yeah, and we can art and creativity can definitely help with our mental wellness. Yeah, so that's for the campaign. If you would like to donate, you can always go to my by my profile and you can click there. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, definitely. I mean, we'll support for you, and I think it's really of a good cause. So that there's a mom. I think it's Fai. She mentioned about like moms, like many times maybe the other people, they are not really blaming on us, but the way that they communicate with us make us feel guilty, right? And I mean, as moms, naturally, like for me, I'm a working mom, and I naturally feel guilty, like, oh, do I give sufficient time to accompany my kid? But while you're staying at home, but you won't be able to, because you have three, you won't be able to have like adequate attention for each of them, like a single child, right? So, but I think like art is one form of releasing that stress, to have the self like me moment, but also is to keep reminding yourself that you already did a great, because in the first place you became a mom, and that's nobody else can do other than women. So going through that period of laboring is already a great thing. Let alone saying that, you know, we pay the effort to take care of them. As long as you think you have done your best, of course, like we always want to do better and better, do more and more for our kids. But that's why I think, like, for me, a community at Mama Umbrella is really to remind mothers, you need to have the you need to have the self care. At least you need to have the mind, be mindful about your like mental well-being, be mindful about what you're experiencing. So it's not always dedicating all your attention to family, to work, or all the external things, because you yourself need to be healthy in the first place. You yourself need to be happy in the first place. So then you can bring the influence to the rest of your family members. Then everything will turn into a positive spin. So yeah, so hopefully, I know today is really like our first ever podcast. I'm so happy that you can join me to share. And then we're definitely happy to hear more feedback from the mothers. So yeah, if you guys want to listen more of the motherhood stories, you know, about art, parenthood, wellness, do let us know, or even volunteer yourself to jump onto the next episode. Yeah. Rebecca, do you have any more thing to say?
So glad that Alice set up this community for mothers and art. I think
My pleasure.
we really need it. And I find that, you know, we just focus on one aspect, is art and creativity. And then art and creativity is like, you know, doing art in our everyday lives is like exercising. It's like going for a job, you know. And it's just one of the ways, that we keep healthy. And I'm so thankful for Alice inviting me to kick off this first AGI. Yeah, I'm so honored.
Yeah, my pleasure. So hopefully we can continue doing more. Let the other mothers know that there are mothers here, that we are experiencing similar kind of things. Yeah, so we're about to wrap up. Wish everybody a good weekend, and remember to have some time for yourself to do some simple art. Like Rebecca said, 30 minutes will help you a lot, right? Yeah. Okay, so we'll just stop here. Thank you so much. Let's look forward to the next episode. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Great weekend.
Happy weekend.